Sortika, Nikki spend na save.
Hi,
Hi, Austin. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very fine. Nice to meet you. Yeah,
Nice
it's
to
been a
meet
while.
you too.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's been a while. Thank you for having me this afternoon.
So this is Sortika live chat, and today we are hosting Gideon Gitonga, a financial advisor who will help us on our journey to our finances. So Gideon, tell us more about yourself, kindly.
Yeah. So to our audience, I'm Gideon Gitonga, a financial advisor and a business analyst. Essentially, my work has been involved around helping individuals be able to create sustainable financial plans. And I've also been involved as a business analyst with businesses in terms of helping them be able to structure their enterprises to become commercially viable enterprises, helping them with fundraising, helping them with strategies on how to become sustainable, create growth paths as businesses. And I do that for both the businesses and individuals. So that's what I'm involved in. That's what I've done for the last 9-10 years. And we continue to do that. We are very passionate around ensuring that our people are financially sustainable on their own. We are able to create financial independence among our people. That is very critical for us. Yes, and I love what Sortika is doing, and I feel great being part of Sortika today and helping Sortika users become financially independent, giving my thoughts around the same. And I hope this will be a fruitful discussion and a wonderful discussion. Thank you.
9-10 years. That's amazing. So you have a lot of knowledge on issues on finance.
Yeah. We've I started this back when I was in the university and getting out of the university, I positioned myself as a business analyst. And I've been interacted with the common mwananchi with solutions that I've developed around the investment sector. I found out that financial investment literacy has been lacking among our people. I mean, our people don't know how to manage money, and it's not a course that is taught in school. So it means people have to learn with experience, and I thought that it would be important if we are able to start inculcating this knowledge among our people, and that's why I was very deliberate about the efforts that I need to be able to make to educate, to be able to make information available so that our people can be able to know how to fund their money and fund their finances. And an empowered population means success in businesses because people know how to now be able to spend their money, and that means sustainability, and that means that you can keep a customer for longer if they're able to become financially stable by themselves over a long period of time. So I would say over the years, based on experience, we've accumulated a great wealth of experience, and this is what we seek to disseminate to our customers and our people so that they can be able to understand how to manage money and how they can become sustainable in terms of how they manage their finances and achieve what is now a cliche, financial freedom. Yes.
That's really amazing. Hey, we are really honored as Sortika to have you on our platform today. So today we are talking about the saving culture. Saving has been an issue to many of us. Many of us have that money on hand, but we really don't know how to strategize this money. We really don't know how to manage our money. And I feel that's one of the key issues on financial, whereby most people don't have the experience or don't have the enough knowledge on how to budget, plan for their money. So I'll start with a little bit of 4 questions on the questionnaire that I want you to answer based on an individual perspective. So how often do you think about saving money? Never, once an year or less, about once an year, weekly or daily?
Yeah, so thank you very much, Austin. I think you should be able to get extra on your side. I'm not able to get the question right, but I understand what you're asking. Today we are talking about savings, and
Yes.
saving is a crucial aspect of our economy. I would like to say that we have seen it saddens us to see the national gross savings have gone down over the years, up of 13% down to 4.5%. It means that Kenya is a consuming nation. The average in East Africa is around the average in Africa is around 22%. We are way much below the average. Our goal is to get to 25% national gross savings rate. by the year 2030. We are in 2021 and we are at 4%. So it means that we are doing very poorly in terms of savings. We are doing very poorly in terms of a savings culture. And it means Kenyans are spending close to 95% of their GDP. So that really becomes that really becomes a big problem, because we are not able to accumulate our own internal savings for the purpose of funding our own economic growth. And that has also scoured into what we are able to see in government. Government is now being forced to borrow outside, because we don't have enough domestic savings to spur our own growth. So therefore, saving becomes an imperative for every Kenyan. It is important that every Kenyan needs to be saving money. And the questions you've asked, I think saving should be conscious every day, every time. Every time you are spending, you should be conscious about how you are able to put some money aside for savings. There is no way you can grow unless you have savings. You cannot invest unless you have savings. Unless you have savings, it even becomes very difficult for you to be able to borrow. So the answer to my question is that we as Kenyans, we need to be thinking about saving every day, every time. It is important. It is important for us to accumulate domestic savings for our own economy, to be able to fuel it, to be able to grow it, even in our own household. It's savings that are going to allow us to make investments. It's savings that are going to allow us to be able to create, to live a life that we want for ourselves, a life that we want for our families. It's about how much money can we save so that money can generate more money. Money with money. There's a Swahili msemo that says shilingi umulika nyingine. Kwa hivyo ikiwa hauna pesa hauwezi mulika pesa ingine. Hivyo basi ni jambo la busara sana ikiwa Wakenya wataanza kuweka akiba, na hilo litakuwa jambo la busara hata katika manyumba zao. Hiyo itahakikisha kwamba familia zao zinakuwa familia ambazo zinaishi maisha ambayo ni sustainable. Hivyo basi, in that regard, I'm sorry for speaking Swahili there, but I know you're speaking Kenyan. Yes. So one of the things that I tell most of my clients is the only reason we have life is to create experiences. Is to create experiences. So the value of living is the experiences that you create. And the experiences you're supposed to create are the grandest thoughts that you have. How do you create the grandest thoughts and the best experiences of your life if you have no money? If you have no money. So, which means you have to make deliberate, conscious decision out saving, so that you can be able to create wealth. Wealth that can be able to enable you create the best experiences for yourself and for your family. Wealth that will ensure that you live the life that you want for yourself. Thank you, Raskin.
Wow, that's very brilliant. So, you have really emphasized on the fact on the saving culture. We should have the deliberate conscious about our savings every single day. So, what are the best ways to save money that you can quickly think of?
Yeah, so of course, the best ways to save money is to make sure that you put money where that money can be able to grow. So there are different aspects of savings. Number one, you look at inflation. So inflation actually affects our savings. So if I put my money in the bank and my money is growing at a rate higher than that of the at a rate lower than that of the inflation, it means I'm actually losing money. I'm not saving money, and that's the difference between saving and investing. So essentially, one of the best ways to be able to save money is to put money in deposit accounts where that money is likely to be earning rates above the inflation rate. So that's what you need to be able to look at, because value time of money is important. So any account that you are earning money above the inflation rate is a good savings account for you. And those ones are like the treasury bills. If you look at the treasury bills, you can look at those are very sustainable. You can look at the money market funds. Those are areas where your money is not exposed to any risk at all, and it's ideally growing above the inflation rate. So those are some of the things that can really be able to help you. But regardless of how you want to be able to save your money, what you need to know is saving money is not about putting money aside. Because if you put money aside for the next 1 year, the value of that money in 1 year's time will be less than the value of money today. So you have to cater for that inflation factor. And that's the reason why putting your money where it grows above the inflation rate then that one provides you a good savings account that preserves the value of your money over time. And that is what I consider to be proper and smart saving.
So there are people, what are your thoughts in this statement? Taking advantage on sales, coupons, and discounts is a good way to save money. What do you think about that statement?
Again, Austin, I've not heard you well.
And what are your
That's
thoughts in this
inflation
statement?
factor.
Taking
And that's the reason
advantage
why
on
putting
sales,
your money
coupons,
where
and
it
discounts
goes
is a good way to
above
save money.
the inflation
What do you
rate,
think about
then that one provides you a good savings account that preserves the value of your money over time. And that is what I consider to be proper
they help
and
you
smart
have
saving.
that extra income that
So
you can be able to
there are people,
put aside into
what
your
are your
savings
thoughts
account,
in this
as I've explained
statement?
before. So for
Taking
me, I think
advantage
it's a
on
good
sales,
strategy to take
coupons,
advantage of
and
these
discounts
discounts.
is a
It's
good way
always a
to
good
save
strategy
money.
to take
What do you think about that
advantage of these
statement?
cashbacks. Even if you're
Again,
saving a
Austin,
shilling,
I've not
10
heard you well.
shillings, 20 shillings, it is
And
fine. It counts a lot.
what are your
That's
thoughts in this
inflation
statement?
factor.
I think it's
Taking
And that's the reason
advantage
why
on
putting
sales,
your money
coupons,
where
and
it
discounts
goes
is a good way to
above
save money.
the inflation
What do you
rate,
think about
then
it?
that one provides you a good savings account that preserves the value of your money over time. And that is what I consider to be proper
they
and
help you
smart
have
saving.
that extra income that you can be able to
There are people, what are your thoughts in this statement? Taking advantage on sales, coupons, and discounts is a good way to save money. What do you think about that statement?
Again, Austin, I've not heard you well.
And what are your thoughts in this statement? Taking
That's the reason why
advantage on
putting
sales,
your money
coupons,
where
and
it
discounts
goes
is a good way to
above
save money.
the
What do
inflation
you
rate,
think about
then
it?
that one provides you a good savings account that preserves the value of your money over time. And that is what I consider to be proper and smart saving.
So it's clear what you just said. There are people, what are your thoughts in this statement? Taking advantage on sales, coupons, and discounts is a good way to save money. What do you think about that statement?
Again, Austin, I've not heard you well.
What you should do is when you're given a discount on a product, you should not, you of course, your purchasing power has been increased, but
Yeah.
you should now be conscious that you don't end up spending those discounts. You should be conscious and deliberate in terms of how you save those particular discounts. So it's about saving the discount. So because what you're doing is opportunity cost. You're saying, today I would have bought unga for 110, but I'm buying it for 100 shillings. So it means the 10 shillings would ideally have been an expenditure in my books. But now you're saying I can put the 10 shillings aside. So you have to still be very disciplined. You have to still be very conscious around being able to save this kind of money. And I know this is an area that Sortika is trying to address in terms of creating discipline that would ensure that people are able to save when they get this kind of loyalties and discounts. And I know the passive savings on Sortika is addressing this concern because every time you spend money, there is money that is being saved for you passively out of every transaction. So I see this as quite a good innovation because what Kenyans lack is the discipline. To be able to put these funds aside. You get a discount, but you think my purchasing power has been increased. So instead of I was buying unga, but now I can add the sweet on top. So you see, essentially you are spending those discounts and those rebates that you're getting for your expenditure. So you're not saving as you should be saving. But I know this is an issue that Sortika very innovatively is trying to solve. Thank you.
That's very true. That's very true. So, what do you think about this statement? What people always say, spending less money is saving money. Is that really true?
You see, you can be stingy and you're spending less money. So as I've explained earlier, saving is a very deliberate, conscious decision that you have to make. If you are cutting down on your cost, then it must be for a good cause. So if you're cutting down on your cost, it has to be for a good cause. So, and if the cost is saving, and I've, in our initial discussions, I defined what saving is. It's putting money in an account where it's earning above inflation rate. So if that is what you are doing by spending less, then you're saving. It's a good plan. Most of the financial advisors out there will tell you that that you should first of all, the first item on your budget should be savings. Then now you go to your expenses. So of course, cutting down on costs, cutting down on it's for saving purposes, but But where are you putting this money that you're saving? That's what that matters. So I think spending less is a good strategy, but it depends with what do you do with the other funds.
That's amazing. So let's kick in back to our discussion whereby kindly enlighten us on the difference between saving and investing. What is the key difference between saving and investing your money? Because I think most people don't know how to differentiate between the two. So kindly enlighten us on that issue.
Yeah. So as I said earlier, there's a very different there's a thin line between saving and investing. And what I would say is when you're saving money is that you're conserving value. It's about conserving value and having it for the future, right? But when you're investing is about a deliberate conscious decision to earn a return out of a specific investment. And investing can be in so many things. So your objective when you're investing is to earn a return. That's the objective. To earn a return is the objective of investing. The objective of saving is to conserve value. You're looking at conserving value for future use. You get it? So I may be saving money to pay school fees or saving money to go for an holiday. So I'm conserving it for future use. So which means all I need to do is to conserve its value. That's why when I was defining saving, I said saving is putting your money where you can earn above inflation, because inflation is the only thing that can deplete your funds, the value of your funds. And therefore, saving is about conserving for future use. Investing is about a deliberate effort to earn a return. You get it? And therefore, when you're investing, there are different forms of investing. You can invest your money in yourself. That's the first area. You can invest your money in yourself. For example, if you see you don't have a lot of money to earn a good return, let's say from a money market fund, you could say, if I took an extra course, if I enhanced an extra skill, right, I could start earning more than what I'm earning today. You get it,
Yes.
For example, you could say, if I became a good salesperson, I can earn more commissions from what, and that would actually be able to improve my income, and that is what is important, right? So investing starts with investing in yourself. Then when you have enough surpluses and enough money, then you can be able to start investing this money in assets and areas that you can be able to generate a good return. And of course, I always advise my clients that when you want to invest, always invest above the free risk rate. As long as you're investing above the free risk rate, then you are able to become very profitable when you're taking the right risk for your money. So I think that's the difference between saving and investing, in my view.
That's nice. So, can someone save and invest at the same time?
Yeah, obviously. Of course, that's more than obvious, because you can conserve money for future use, of course, and you can actually have investments where you are earning a return on what you've been able to invest in. So you can do that at the same time, and I think Sortika provides this. I know within Sortika you have savings goals and you have investment goals, you have an emergency fund goal, and you have also group goals. And people within Sortika, I know they can be able to do both savings and investments at the same time, and that's really clever, because someone will be saving for holiday, but they have invested in a product. One of the products I know you're providing is SIB Mansa X.
SIB.
They could invest in SIB Mansa X, so they have money here earning a return for them, right? And they are also conserving some money for their future use here. And the beauty is, I know Sortika provides above the inflation rate. I know your interests are close to 12% per annum, right? Am I right with that? Yeah. So of course, which means they are conserving money beyond the inflation rate, and that's really important for people to be able to do. I know you're also providing educational content with the NLC on how to become professional traders. So people could also invest in themselves, in their own skills. These skills could help them be able to generate more income. So also that's an investment, because anywhere you're making a deliberate conscious investment to generate more income for yourself, to improve your earning power, then that's an investment. So of course you can invest and save at the same time.
So there you have it, people. You can save and invest at the same time. And like he has said, as a Sortika, we have a brilliant section whereby you can save at the same time and invest at the same time. So, other than inflation, sorry, what are other factors that affect our saving culture?
Yeah, so of course, discipline is one of the big issues that we have around saving because most people every year they make New Year resolutions, and I start that with all my clients. They have New Year resolutions. They are saying the wonderful things they will do in that coming year. They will buy cars. They will go for holidays. They will go for they will do marvelous things. They will even
We want to excite ourselves for the new year.
exactly. Exactly. But what people don't do is they don't do the calculation backwards to know how much money do I need to be putting aside every day in this year for me to achieve these objectives by the end of the year. And I know this is a solution I know Sortika has solved because within Sortika I know you people once I'm creating my goals you're able to give me the daily target, the monthly, the weekly, and the monthly target. So which means I am consciously aware of what I need to be putting aside every day for me to meet those objectives, and that also helps me become realistic about what my goals are, about what my objectives are. Because do I have that income? Because if I don't have that income, then it means, as I've previously said, you have to invest in yourself to generate that extra income for the purpose of you being able to meet these financial goals. So I think one of the things that Kenyans lack is the discipline to do that calculation, but now Sortika is there to help them do that calculation. But again, remaining faithful to that target. That every day I'll cut costs, I'll cut whatever, I'll take sacrifices to ensure that I'm putting those funds aside. To ensure that I'm putting those funds aside. So that is very important. So that's one of the reasons. Number two is the high cost of living in Kenya. Of course, we know recently the finance act bill was passed. Gas has gone up. Cost of living is always going up. We have had the pandemic that has really ravaged Kenyans, and the incomes have been suppressed. So, of course, that also becomes a problem. People have very low incomes. People, the expenditures are going high, and therefore that becomes a big problem for Kenyans to be able to have surpluses that they can be able to save. But I also know this is a solution. I think I'm able to hear some background noise on your side, Astin. So I think one of the solutions that Sortika is providing, and that's why I like Sortika a lot, is that you are allowing Kenyans as they spend all this money to be able to save passively. So, which means you're not telling them don't spend, because you can't tell Kenyans not to spend money. Gas has gone up with over 340 shillings. Life, bread is going up. You see, milk has gone up. You can't tell Kenyans not to save. But I like what Sortika is doing, because you're saying as you spend, then you can be able to save. Yeah. So of course the other issue is the government policy. Government policy is affecting the savings culture, of course, with the kind of regulations they put in place, which makes it difficult for Kenyans to be able to put aside money. Number 4 issue is financial investment literacy. I think the limiting factor of knowledge. Kenyans don't know ways and areas that they can be able to save their money easily and faster, so that they can be able to grow their wealth. So I think these are some of the things that are causing Kenyans not to be able to save. Yeah. So I think those are some of my thoughts for now.
I also had the same reasons why. So out of the reasons that you have given us, what do you think are the remedies, or what do you think the remedies or the recommendation to the problems that we are facing on the saving culture?
Yes, so some of the remedies start with the individual, because as I told you, the reason why we all need money is because money helps us create very good experiences, and that's very, very critical for everyone. So when it comes to discipline, right, is number 1, employing solutions that can help you become disciplined in your savings culture. Solutions like Sortika have come to solve this kind of problems. Number 1, Sortika gives you the discipline. I've seen one of the innovative things is that when I create a goal, I cannot redeem the money in that goal unless I meet that particular target I've already placed there. So that gives me the discipline to be able to ensure that I'm able to meet my financial goals, because I can't redeem that money until I'm able to reach that
the amount of money.
Exactly. So it is about employing and being very conscious around embracing platforms that enable you to have the discipline. Number two, technology. You can see like what Sortika is doing around passive savings. Of course, we know I have to save money, right? And I know I cannot be able to have savings as my first expenditure. I cannot have savings as my first. I put my so that means that if I'm spending money, which I'll obviously do because Kenyans spend 5% of their GDP, I think you still have some background noise asking. I don't know if you're hearing me. So
Yeah, sure. I'm hearing you noise properly.
yes. So if I'm able to save while spending, then that makes it very easy for me to be able to accumulate savings. So I think number two is adopting technological solutions. We've seen a lot of them come. I've just seen Safaricom are launching Mali, right? And Mali is to be able to help Kenyans save a little attention. I've seen others like also Mshwari, KCB, and Pesa. They're allowing people to be able to save money. And I think these technological solutions are important because they are helping customers be able to save. I've also seen the investment companies launching technological solutions. We have Jikuze by Gegis Capital. We have this new one by ICA, Lion Digitrust. So all these are trying to embrace the customers to save money from as little as 500 shillings, others as little as 1 shilling. And Sortika is one that has revolutionized the whole industry. You know, you save money and it allows you to even choose where you want to invest that money. So these are some of the solutions that Kenyans need to embrace so they can be able to go around the challenges that they have around accumulating savings. The other issue is concerning the government. The government has to be conscious. It has to come up with policies that are going to support the savings culture in Kenya. And some of those policies is encouraging entities that are providing, that are helping in terms of mobilizing of savings. For example, companies, fund managers are mobilizing savings. If they are given tax incentives, they can be able to put more money into advertising, into marketing, into educating the Kenyans. They can put more money into financial literacy programs to ensure that Kenyans are able to become active participants in the capital market sector. So that becomes very, 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 very important. So of course, government regulation through its regulators, the Capital Markets Authority and the Commodity and the CBK, they can come in a big way to help promote the capital market sector. Yes.
Those are one of the best solutions that I've had so far. Thank you so much, Gideon, for that. So you have constantly mentioned about the passive savings that Sortika has. I know that you have an idea of it. So what should you tell people about the passive saving mechanism that you're talking about?
Yes. So as I think as I've told you, Austin, is that passive savings is a very innovative solution that has come to market.
Sure.
When we were starting this discussion, I told you that Kenyans spend close to 95% of their GDP. We don't save money, so it means we are a spending country. So it means if we are always spending, it means that we don't have money to put aside for savings. And therefore, a solution that allows you to save every time you are spending without having to think about it is revolutionary. It is one that Kenyans should adopt. It is one that people should embrace. It is one that everybody should be on because we are all spending, including people that don't earn an income are spending because they are sponsored to spend. If you have students, they are being given money to spend. If you have whatever, everybody is spending. A solution that saves money for you every time you spend passively without having to think about it is an innovation that we cannot afford not to embrace at this hour. So passive savings is one of the things that I would advocate for every Kenyan, that every time you're spending money, as a platform that saves for you without you having to think about it. And you know, it's very simple because I've seen it. It works just like the way you get charged when you transfer money to a friend. You know, when I transfer 1,000 shillings to you asking because of a good interview, I'll be able to. I'll pay 28 shillings as charges to M-Pesa. And I don't even think about it. I don't even think about it. So if I'm able to be saving money that way without having to think about it, every time I receive a transaction, I send a transaction I'm saving very passively, then that's a solution I will embrace it immediately. And of course, I'll be recommending this to my clients, and I'm recommending it to Kenyans, and I'm recommending to the people that are watching today that you need to embrace passive savings. And I've seen that model work. I've seen it with Sortika, and that's why I love Sortika, and that's why I use Sortika, and that's why I recommend Sortika to my friends, because it is one of the innovative solutions that allows Kenyans to save money when they are spending. And clearly, we're a spending nation. We spend close to 25% of our GDP. If we are going to get to 25% national growth savings, then passive savings will play a critical role in enhancing, in pushing us towards achieving that particular objective. Thank you.
So there you have it, people. Our passive saving mechanism is effortless. You don't even have to think about it. All you need to do is continue spending. Do what you're doing to your daily life so that you can manage to save after everything that you're doing. Because I think the passive saving mechanism answers the questions most Kenyans wanajulizanga, pesa yangu imeenda wapi? You go out to spend that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising because a lot of Kenyans, when you look at their investor statements, I would look at mine and I would be surprised. Last year I did 5 million shillings. 5 million transacted on my M-Pesa, but I have nothing to show for it. Nothing. I can't even. And I will go and go and copper 1,000 shillings for 15%, or copper 1,000 shillings from someone at 7.5%. And I'm asking myself, but I had all this money. Now imagine when I started using Sortika, that was around the late 2019 when I started using Sortika. When I started using after every transaction, I was saving some money, and some money was going to my emergency fund. So
the rainy days.
Yes, for rainy day, and I was saving 5% of every transaction I do. 5%. So it means if I spend 1 million, I have 50,000 shillings in my emergency fund. 50,000. So why should I go and borrow someone 1,000 shillings at 15% when I have that money in my emergency fund? I can be able to use it. I have never seen such an innovation. I've never seen such kind of a solution that is very innovative, that is helping Kenyans be able to accumulate savings through their own expenditure. So now you don't look at the investor statement and wonder. You don't have to look at the investor statement and wonder. I can still hear some background noise. I don't know if you're getting me. I think there are colleagues around you. So that is very some noise asking. So I think as I'm saying, passive savings is very, very innovative, and it's one of the solutions that I will recommend to everybody. I have used it myself. It has worked for me. Now I save money on every expenditure I make. When I pay for tea, when I pay for my pizza, when I pay for my fuel, when I pay for anything, I am saving money. And that's how Kenyans need to do it. It's an innovative solution that will help us reach our Vision 2030 goal of getting to 25% national growth savings. Thank you, Aston.
And that is very nice. So there you have it. You don't, with the passive saving mechanism, you don't even have to go and borrow because you're saving each and every single time. So let me ask you a question. What are the best ways, or what are the best ways to save?
Yeah, so of course, as we had said earlier, the best ways to save, number one, as I said, is saving in a place where you are running above the inflation rate, and that's very important. So one thing you need to look at is look out for platforms. There are so many platforms out there right now that you can be able to save your money. So what should be of importance to you is my money earning, because one, saving money in your bank account is the worst thing you can ever do. I would never advocate for you to save your money in a bank account, because the moment you put your money in a bank account, the day you do withdrawing that money, it will be, you will be deducted charges. You're actually losing the value of your money. Then no interest is paid on that money. So it means that inflation is also eroding those particular funds. So of course, putting your money in a bank account is not advocated for. The areas I advocate is put your money in money market funds, put your money in platforms where you're earning interest rates above the inflation. And also put your money where you have opportunities to invest this money, where you can turn your savings into an investment. So such kind of platforms are seen in Sortika. That's one of them, because within Sortika I'm able to convert my savings into investments. I can actually allocate my savings to specific investment opportunities that can earn me above market returns. So those are some of the areas that I would advocate people to be able to save money. So some forms of saving money is save through treasury bills, save through commercial notes, save through bank certificate of deposits, but always be keen on what is it that you are earning. Another aspect that you should be conscious about is the risk. Of course, returns are good, but returns also come with a risk, with a risk element. So, of course, it's very important that you're also keen on what is your risk appetite, what kind of market shocks are you likely to be able to get. And I think this is some of the information that we give to our customers so that they're able to understand what their risk profile is, and they can match that to what they expect as returns from their particular savings. So I think the best place for you to save is where you're earning above the inflation rate. Thank you.
So there are some of you have talked about the savings culture. You have given us the best ways to save, factors that affect our saving culture, and you have given us the remedies that you recommend. So let me ask you a question, Gideon. Are there saving rules to the saving culture? Are there rules that people should be guided? Are there rules that people should be follow for you to have that saving culture in you?
Yeah. So if I think I've mentioned some of the rules or some of the benchmarks. I wouldn't call them essentially rules, but I would say they are guiding principles. Guiding principles. Yes. As to why you should be able to save, and there are several of them. So one of them is, of course, the inflation. The inflation rate. You said you have to put your money where you are earning above inflation rate. So that becomes very critical. It's one of the things that you need to be looking at. Number two is a risk profile. Your risk profile. You have to understand your risk profile, because if you don't understand your risk profile, then you're likely to invest your money in areas that may expose you to unnecessary risk, and some of the risks that are liquidity risks. For example, how much do you need cash flow? Cash flow is important. So if you need liquidity, then you can't invest in assets that are liquid. You can do real estate. You can do these are the kind of assets. And we see this as a very big problem in Kenya. You see, just a few weeks ago, we had issues with Titan. We had issues with all these liquid investments that people have put their money in. And most of them now have a big problem with those investments. But you see, even investment is illiquid, it's very difficult to get money out. Very, very difficult to get money out. So you have to be conscious around what your risk profile is, what the liquidity risks are. The other risks, like the volatility risk, where you're putting your money, you need to be able to understand how volatile are these assets. You get, because if an asset is highly volatile, you may be exposing yourself to margin calls. You may be exposing yourself to having to hold those assets for a very long period of time as you wait for them to make a turnaround. So those are some of the things that you need to be conscious about when you're building your savings strategy. So I think that is very important, and those are some of the things that people should be able to consider. Of course, there are several other issues that people should consider, and of course, I think after this interview, I'll be sending you one of my articles that you can be able to publish for your users to be able to see, and therefore they can be able to make savings decisions that are proper.
Thank you. I will appreciate. So there you have it, people. Thank you so much, Gideon. I have actually learned some few things that I didn't know about the saving culture, and I appreciate. So for our listeners, if you have any question, feel free to ask. Gideon will respond, or I will also respond to the same. So this is it. So the summary. Give us your closing remarks, Gideon. What is it that you would tell us?
Yeah, so for me, what I would advise the people watching, and what I would advise Kenyans, is that we have to make deliberate, conscious decisions to create the grandest experiences for ourselves and for our families. There is no way you're going to live a life that you want, a life of freedom, a life that you can do anything that you want. Imagine a life where money never constrains you, a life where if you decide to go to Mombasa today, you go. If you decide lunch is in Johannesburg, you go. If you decide you're going to sleep in Dubai, you are there. If you decide whatever experience you want to give to yourself and to your family, is the power of offering that is in your hands. So what I would say, my fellow Kenyans, is that This is the time for you to take a conscious decision. It is time for you to embrace platforms that are going to change your life, platforms that are going to revolutionize your life, platforms that will put your family in a different pedestal, platforms that will ensure that you meet what the Bible says, that you're going to live well for your children. There is no way you will live well for your children, unless you are saving money and investing money in a smart way, unless your money starts working for you. And therefore, my advice is that Kenyans should embrace solutions that can help them be able to inculcate a savings culture. One of those solutions is Sortika. And there are so many of those solutions out there. And therefore, I'm asking Kenyans to embrace solutions like Sortika today so that they can start creating the grandest experiences for themselves and their families, and therefore they can start living the life that they want for themselves and their families. It is possible for you to be free. It is possible for you to achieve greater things. It is possible for you to create heaven on earth. And you can do that. You can do that today if you make a conscious decision to start embracing platforms that can help you develop a savings culture. That would be my parting shot for the people watching and Kenyans. That we can achieve our vision 2030 if we start embracing this set of platforms, and when we make the deliberate and conscious decisions to become financially literate and to start studying, understanding, listening to good counsel, and embracing platforms that are coming, innovative solutions that are coming and helping you be able to grow your money. That is the only way that you can, and it's about the user, it's about you, it's about your life, it's about what you want. You know, when you are, I always tell some of my clients, when you're employed, you are not free because you have to work from 8 to 5. You cannot just get out. So how do you become an employer? How do you generate wealth that you are no longer tied down? And you see, you may say you are free because you are out here, you are just out and you can just do anything that you want. But you're not free because you cannot do anything that you want. You're not free because you cannot have the lunch that you want. You're not free because you cannot drive the car that you want. You're not free because you cannot go for the holiday that you want. But you can achieve financial freedom and achieve true freedom by inculcating a savings culture and building wealth that is going to transform your life and ensure that you leave something for your children from generation to generation, and you'll be fulfilling what Christians say is a critical component of their religion. And I think that is very important that we should be able to do. We should give our descendants a better life than we've experienced, and we can be able to do that if we start saving today. And I think Sortika is a brilliant solution that Kenyans should start to embrace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gideon. Thank you. Those were amazing closing remarks. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for taking this time to teach us, to educate us on the financial issues, especially the saving. Like I said earlier, saving is an issue to most Kenyans. Yeah, there's so many issues that surround us, and we feel like we don't have enough money to save. But you have taught us the passive saving mechanism, whereby each and every time you spend, you save as a small percentage of that transaction, so that you can invest, you can have an emergency fund, and you can have financial freedom. So thank you so much, Gideon, and have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
Sortika, nikispen na save.